Hey there, gang. It is time for me to start putting together my May 2021 comic book order at my local comic book store. So I invite you to look over my shoulder as I go through the solicitations, decide what I am going to buy, what I am committed to paying for 2 months before they are actually released, starting with DC Comics. So if you like comics, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bobby. Welcome to Shanghai. My name is Duke, and this is a pull list episode. So once again, I am going through the May 2021 solicitations for DC Comics, deciding which books I'm going to put on my pull list, which books I am so confident about, I am going to order them now, commit to paying for them 2 months before they're actually released. Yes, it's a strange way of doing business, but that's how the modern comic book industry works. So, please do like, share, subscribe, do all the groovy things. Please do leave a comment down below. That seems to be the best thing for the algorithm as far as helping this channel grow and find new viewers. And also, please do leave a comment if you'd like to be entered to win this World of Smallville PVC set. I'll be doing a random drawing and giving this away once I reach 247 subscribers. So to be entered to win, all you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment down below. And so, yeah, comments, that I'd be interested in hearing from you. You mean anything you'd like to say, about anything I've got to say or any of these books, But let me know, if you would, what DC books are on your pull list. What are you getting? I'm interested to see how that may differ from what I'm getting. And also, where do you go for your DC Comics solicitations? I find that the catalog that they put out, it's a digital only catalog, and I find it very hard to navigate. And so I don't go there. I actually go to firstcomicsnews.com. That's where I get all of my solicitations, even more so than the previews catalog. The previews catalog can be just kind of an eyesore as well. Some of the solicitations just really make your eyes bleed. They're just laid out so poorly, which isn't entirely the fault of Diamond. That's also, just the publishers themselves. Some of these pages are, seem like they're laid out by, a middle schooler who's kind of just discovered Word. So, anyway, be that as it may, let's go through the solicitations here and see what we've got. I will say that by my count, DC is soliciting 47 books for May, so they're creeping back up there in the numbers. They had kind of right-sized. I don't think any comic book publisher has any business releasing at the very absolute maximum 40 books a month, 10 a week, because nobody can buy more than that. And the diversity in the books, not in terms of creators or even characters, but in genres, it's just not there. It's pretty much all predominantly superhero, especially from companies like DC and Marvel. So, again, 47 books seems a little much. It's not the 70 some odd DC was at before COVID, but it's probably still too much. But anyway, out of those 47, I am getting 12 books. So I'll go through these now, comment on these solicitations, and let you know which books I'm getting. So, Mr. Miracle, the Source of Freedom, #1. Not getting this. I've never really had any interest in Mr. Miracle, even the Scott-free version, except for, in the 70s, there were a few issues by Steve Englehart and Marshall Rogers that caught my fancy. But other than that, I've just never been able to warm up to Mr. Miracle. So this, third iteration of the character just doesn't speak to me at all. Wonder Girl, now I am getting this book, and that's because the Future State Wonder Woman book I really, really enjoyed. I don't know if I'll say it was the only good thing to come out of the Future State event, but it was certainly by far the best thing. And I think Joelle Jones has really come around. When she was on Catwoman, I tried that, and I liked her drawing, but I didn't always like her panel-to-panel continuity. It was a little confusing at times. And then, as a writer, I found that she was practicing that same kind of glacial plotting of everybody else nowadays, where everything is so decompressed, it takes forever for anything to happen. But those Future State Wonder Woman books were very good. They were quick reads, I'll grant you, but there was still a lot that actually happened in the issue. They were a pleasure to read. So I have put this one on my pull list. I look forward to this book. And that is, by the way, if I didn't mention it, that is the Yara Flor version of the. Well, we thought she was going to be Brazilian, but it says here that she's from Boise, Idaho. Which, I mean, you can be certainly of Brazilian descent and be from Boise. So nothing wrong there. Future State Gotham #1, not for me. And even though it's Joshua Williamson, and a lot of people are very, very high on him, but the Future State Batman books just didn't ring for me. And this whole stuff with the Magistrate, it was just very, yeah, all stuff we've seen before. So it's just, I don't know. I've got no interest here. There's too damn many Batman books anyway, so I don't need this one. Legends of the Dark Knight, however, I am going to go ahead and add this one to my pull list. It promises to be, short arcs by different, significant creators working in their own continuities. So, just like, the old Legends of the Dark Knight series. It seems a little strange that we've got, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, Batman Urban Legends, and Batman The Dark Knight titles all out at the same time. I've mentioned that before. I don't know how that can not be confusing to a normie. But anyway, at least this book, I'm going to try it for now. And probably what will happen, just to scroll back up here, I will probably, just like the original Legends of the Dark Knight series, I will probably be on and off that book, depending on the creative team. So that will be, let's call it a semi-regular purchase. Milestone Returns Infinite Edition #0. I don't know. I tried, some of the original Milestone books, and some of them were okay, and some of them weren't. But I don't know. I just don't have enough room to add $5 into my budget to dive back into a whole new universe. I don't know. It's not this is the quote unquote black DC world. It's just more of this, a whole new universe to invest in at $5 a pop. I'm just, nah. I'll end up getting these books out of dollar bins, a few years from now. DC Festival of Heroes, the Asian Superhero Celebration. I don't know. Sure, different Asian characters are great, but to make a big deal out of them because they're Asian, yeah, I don't know. I guess under this theory that people want characters that look like them and won't read white characters because they're not white, then I guess maybe I'm not supposed to be interested in this because these characters don't look like me. I don't know. I mean, you can't have it both ways, right? So I don't know. This isn't a book, and again, this is actually more about price than anything else. I haven't got $10 to spend on that book. Stargirl, though, this is a kind of an exception to the overpriced rule. This is going to be a $6 book, but I really enjoyed the original Jeff Johns Stargirl series, and I've really enjoyed the television series. I don't know how closely this will tie into the CW version of Stargirl, if it is going to be married to that continuity or entirely to the DC Comics continuity. We've got here, the Seven Soldiers, and these are all the DC versions, including Oliver Queen, who's dead in the CW Arrowverse. So probably this is going to be a comic book version. That seems odd to me. I would think they would be more interested, in bringing in new readers. They would want to try to appeal to people who've seen the television show, and so try the book because of that. To have somebody who watches the Stargirl television series and so decides to pick a comic book up starring that character and have the continuity be entirely different and the characters be all different. I don't know. That just doesn't seem advisable to me. But anyway, I'm going to try this book. Sorry, I go on. Justice League Last Ride. Even though this is by Chip Zdarsky, I just, you can't. It's one of these you can't buy everything, and so I passed on that. There's a Batman Earth 1 Volume 3 hardcover. I can't fit a $34 book into my budget, so that's an immediate pass just for that reason alone. Deceased Hope at World's End hardcover. I don't know if that's new or if that's a collection, but we'll skip that. I Am Not Starfire trade paperback. You can see all kinds of YouTube videos about that book. I don't have much to say about it. Action Comics 1031. This is on my pull list, but I don't know how much longer it's going to stay there. A lot of people speak very highly of Philip Kennedy Johnson, and I think that's primarily because he's not Brian Michael Bendis. But what I have seen of his Superman so far, I haven't really been that thrilled with. I thought that the House of L book was, I think the words I used were aggressively mediocre. So we'll see. I don't actually expect to stay with this series very long. And so the same with Superman 31. That's on my pull list, but I could very well be dropping that series within a few issues from now. American Vampire 1976 number 8. That's just something that, sure, whatever. I'm all vampired out. I don't need another vampire story. I'm good. Batman 108, that's on my pull list. Not a lot to say about that. Batman Black and White number 6. I chose not to get this book, even though I liked some of the creators in it, just because I feel like it's a cash grab. Even at 48 pages, I don't think this should be a $6 book, when there's no color. There's no cost to color or print the book in color. Even though you may have to pay a little more for some of these name creators, to me, this book should still be, even at 48 pages, given no color, it should be, if not the same price as a regular 32-page book, less. So I passed on that for that reason. Batman, the Detective number 2 is just a pass because, there's just too damn many Batman books. And, what is this? How is this different from anything else other than it's Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert? Why couldn't they have done this arc in Legends of the Dark Knight or Urban Legends or The Dark Knight or Batman or Detective Comics or anything else? So screw that. Batman Catwoman number 6. I'm not getting this because Tom King. Tom King blocked me on Twitter. Tom King can go fuck himself. The Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 2. I'm excited about this book. Not the least of which because it's only $2.99. I'm not thrilled with digital first books. To me, I feel about digital comics the same way Stan Lee did. I believe highly in the Stan Lee quote. You may have heard it, where he said that comic books are like boobs. They look great on a computer screen, but I'd really rather hold them in my hands. So, but there you go. So, Batman Superman number 18. This isn't on my list just because, again, you can't buy everything. There's too much of it, and there's too much Batman. So, yeah, I don't know. I could do like a Brave and the Bold style Batman team-up book, but, I don't need a World's Finest book just because. Batman Urban Legends number 3, that is on my pull list. I added it primarily because of Chip Zdarsky, but some of these other creators as well. And so again, this is an exception to the rule. It's an $8 book. Normally that's more than I want to spend for a comic book, even a 64-page book. It's about twice as much as I'd like to spend, but I gave it a try. Catwoman 31, I don't know. Catwoman to me is better in small doses than as an ongoing character. I've never really been able to sustain my interest in any ongoing Catwoman series. Challenge of the Super Sons. I'm a big fan of the Peter Tomasi Super Sons books. I'm still unclear on they are de-aging Jonathan Kent, or if this is set somewhere in the multiverse, or if this is something that is taking place before he was aged up. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I enjoy the Super Sons, so that's a yes for me. Crime Syndicate number 3, that is on my pull list. I'm a big fan of multiverse stories, or at least, those ones that sort of mimic the pre-crisis multiverse. And so, the Earth 3 quote-unquote evil Justice League. I find that hard to resist. Detective Comics 1036. This is a book I will probably check out when it hits the stands. It might be an impulse buy. Initially, I had passed on it. Mariko Tamaki, if I remember correctly, isn't she the one who wrote this book that everybody's hating on? This scroll back up here. I am Starfire. Yeah. Oh, I am not Starfire. Excuse me. Which, my theory is that's a book that's not made for me, which is fine. It's good that it's there for the people it is made for. But people have really complained on the YouTubes about that book. But having said that, there are also some people who are praising her work on Detective Comics. So I will probably check that out when it comes out on the stands. It could be an impulse buy, but it's not on my pull list. The Dreaming Waking Hours number 10, whatever. Any of these Sandman sequels, yeah. And frankly, G. Willow Wilson, I haven't really enjoyed anything that she's done outside of the initial run of Ms. Marvel, the Kamala Khan books, and I enjoyed that quite a lot. But everything she's done since then, I've just been meh. So she's not a particular draw, at this point anyway. Maybe I'll turn around on her at some point, but the Dreaming just doesn't draw me. The Flash 770. I have such a bad taste in my mouth for the Flash right now because of all the Wally West stuff. So I don't know. I do like this cover right here. So who knows? That could be an impulse buy as well. Green Lantern number 2. I kind of hate this Green Lantern character, but I did put this on my pull list because Jeffrey Thorne, the interview that he did on Perch's channel, Comics by Perch, he seemed like just a altogether thoroughly good and decent guy who just seems to get it. So that's on my list, and I'm kind of excited to read that when it comes out. Harley Quinn number 3, kind of like Catwoman. I have trouble sustaining any ongoing interest in Harley Quinn. I like her cartoon. The Joker. I'm really getting this because it's more of a James Gordon book than a Joker book. Yeah, that's on my pull list. Justice League 61. I don't think the Justice League is a good fit for Brian Michael Bendis. I mean, I don't know. I haven't read his Justice League, but just based on his Superman, I'm not inclined to put that on my pull list. Looney Tunes 260. Sometimes, if I have a small week where not a lot came in on my pull list, I'll grab a copy of Looney Tunes. So it's never on my pull list, or almost never, but I do get it from time to time. Mad number 20. I thought they were canceling Mad, or it was going to go into all reprints, but this solicitation reads like it's new material, so I don't know what the story is with Mad. Man-Bat number 4. I've seen a couple of people praise this, but who in God's name was clamoring for a Man-Bat book? So I don't know. If you're reading Man-Bat, let me know what you think of it. I'm interested. The Next Batman, Second Son, number 2 by John Ridley. I tried his Future State Next Batman and didn't think very much of it. John Ridley is another one of these people, kind of like Ta-Nehisi Coates, where he can write, he just can't write a comic book. He's writing a movie or television script, and so it's way too decompressed for me. It's just not worth $5 an issue. Nightwing number 80. I've never been a huge Nightwing fan. If it was, I'll tell you what I'd like to see, and it could be by Tom Taylor as well. No particular qualms with him, but I'd like to see Nightwing and Flamebird. That would be a good series. If Dick Grayson decided, well, you know what, Bruce Wayne didn't do such a great job raising me and has done a terrible job with all of the subsequent me's. But I'm going to try and be a better mentor than he was. It would be a good analogy for, a lot of the fanboys. And I often say that comics need to cater more to the younger reader, the casual reader, the 10 and 12-year-olds out there. But in this case, again, always talking about exceptions to the rule, this could be something that would really speak to kind of the older fanboys, the ones in their 40s or 30s, 50s, whatever, who may be of that mindset of, I'm trying to be a better father than my father was. It could really speak to that mindset, that reader. So I think a Nightwing and Flamebird book where Dick Grayson takes on a protege to become a mentor to and try and train. And it could be a female Flamebird as well. But that might interest me. But just Dick Grayson in and of himself, I don't know. I don't know what the appeal is. The other side, the other history of the DC universe. Again, a John Ridley book, and this book. And again, I could be wrong. I've said before that my impression of a book may not necessarily be accurate. But it is my impression, so, if I'm wrong, it's not evidence of me being a toxic fanboy. It's more evidence of DC falling down on its marketing. But this book just seems to me an all white people are racist book, which, again, I don't need that. I was raised in a post-racial America. I mean, the 80s were very, very post-racial. I don't know what other word to use, but when I got out my cigar box guitar and I'm in front of the TV rocking out with Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, I knew they looked different than me, but I didn't think of them as fundamentally different people from me. I mean, other than Rudy. Rudy was a dirty 1%er. We all knew that. But we let Rudy hang because he was the only one who could afford an actual instrument. But still, I don't know. This racism stuff is just, I didn't grow up with it, and so I don't know how we suddenly became a racist country again. Robin number 2, I despise Damian Wayne. The only place I can stand him is in the Super Sons, where John Kent kind of compliments and tones him down a little bit, and his character actually complements and accentuates John a little bit. So in that setting, I can handle Damian, but here, no, I have no interest in a book starring him. Rorschach number 8, Tom King, no thank you. Again, this is another book that it's just, Tom King working through his personal issues. I don't need to spend $5 a book to, be Tom King's therapist. Oh, what is this? A Ruby Justice League number 2. Who the hell is Ruby? I don't know. I don't care. Marguerite Bennett. Everything I've ever read by her has just been really mediocre, really bland. I'm not going out of my way to buy a book just because it's by Marguerite Bennett. I mean, I don't hate her, but she's not a name that draws me to a book. There's got to be something else besides her. And then maybe it'll turn out that I do like her work, but so far, nah. All right, so Sensational Wonder Woman number 3. I did not order number 1 or number 2. I am getting number 3 for this reason right here and this reason alone. Written and art by Colleen Doran. I'm a big Colleen Doran fan, and so I'm looking forward to that book. And I think this is like an anthology where I don't think this is an arc she's doing. I think it's just going to be this one issue. So yeah, even though I did not get 1 and 2, I will definitely pre-order number 3 here. Strange Adventures, again, it's more of Tom King's self-help stuff. And again, Tom King has been a dick online and has blocked me, so I'm just not buying his stuff. Suicide Squad, I just recently bought the first issue, and it was an impulse buy, and primarily because the covers have been so good in the solicitations that I decided I would try the book, even though I had not initially pre-ordered it. So I just got number 1. Right now, number 3 is not on my pull list, and I could be, if I like number 1, I could be getting this as an impulse buy off the shelf from time to time, and if I like it, I could add it to my pull list down the road. Teen Titans Academy. This is basically what DC's version of Strange Academy, but it's all It's all like fake Teen Titans, not Teen Titans I really care about. So I don't know. I don't know who wanted this book. Superman Red and Blue, just like Batman Black and White. This is a cash grab. This shouldn't be this much, and it's even fewer pages than the Batman book. Shouldn't be this much if it's only using 2 colors. Swamp Thing number 3, I did just buy number 1, and again, it was, I've mentioned this before, it was to find out why people are praising Ram V's Swamp Thing. I did not like his Future State Swamp Thing. I mean, I didn't hate them, but it was just meh. So I picked up number 1 to see if I would like it, but I don't know. It could just be that I'm not a big Swamp Thing fan. Yeah, I don't know if it's me, if it's Ram V, if it's Swamp Thing. Something's not clicking there for me. Truth and Justice number 4. I don't even know what this is. I don't even remember 1 through 3 being solicited. So pass, I guess. Wonder Woman 772. I just bought 770, and I'll probably be continuing to buy this book for a few issues at least, and make a decision down the road on whether or not I'm going to add it to my pull list or not. But right now, that's an off-the-shelf purchase. And so, yeah, the rest is all trades. That's it. So, again, to review, what did I say? DC is soliciting 47 books for May, and I am buying 12 of them. Out on May 4th, Batman 108, Crime Syndicate 3, Green Lantern 2, Sensational Wonder Woman 3, and Stargirl Spring Break Special number 1. Then out on the 11th, Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 2, Batman Urban Legends number 3, Challenge of the Super Sons number 2, Joker number 3, and Superman 31. Just one book coming out on May 18th, Wonder Girl number 1, and out on the 25th, Action Comics 1031. So, how many DC books do you plan to purchase in May? What is on your pull list? Let me know, and we'll be back next time to go over the Marvel solicitations. Until then, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.